Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's Laredo Economic Development Corporation Business Conversation. Uh, oops, got some very good informative programs today that we can all benefit from. Again, we always try to, we have started recognizing some of our members from our organization and give them an opportunity to tell us who they are and what they're doing. And for today, we have somebody from MileOne. I will ask our program administrator, Cesar Hernandez, to introduce our membership spotlight today. Cesar, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, everybody. Well, good afternoon now, right? At 12:05.
Good, yes.
Today, I would like to introduce our co-working member, Mr. Sergio Davila. Mr. Davila is a attorney, and I'll let him go into more details, but he's been here a member of MileOne for quite a while. A little fun fact, when I was being introduced to the position and I was invited by Olivia, the former CEO and president of LaredoEDC, to come and just visit the facility, Sergio was actually doing a workshop on trademarking back in 2018. So it was the first event that I participated in and got a taste of what MileOne was all about. So that's kind of the way Sergio and I first met. So I'll pass it over to Mr. Sergio Davila.
Thank you for that, Cesar. Hope you guys can still hear me. I'm very making sure that the microphone is working. Yeah, I've been a MileOne member. Geez, I think when I was introduced must have been either March or April of 2018. So I've been a member for over 2 years, and I've met a ton of really motivated people, movers, shakers, innovators, people of all backgrounds in all industries have come through, and I think it's very beneficial to kind of get their infectious energy, right? It motivates you, whatever your industry is. And I'm an attorney, right? That's what does that mean? You practice law, yes, but you're also a small business owner, right? I think a lot of people don't realize that anytime an attorney puts out a shingle, they're opening a small business, and what's universal about it, regardless of where you practice, is that it's fundamentally you're starting a family, so to speak. And when I decided to form my own law firm, I knew that I wanted to be nimble. I wanted to be virtual. I did not ever want to have a big building with my name on it. I did not want to have fancy furniture. I said, when I have an opportunity to build a law firm, a new type of law firm from the ground up, and have my overhead be like comically low, right? And for a long time, I pretty much operated only out of, I had a little briefcase and my laptop in it. And that's all I need to provide world-class service to clients of all types. And so it was, interestingly enough, it was still not a hard sell, but it was still a sell. A friend of mine had been a member for a few, I guess he had heard about a hackathon that they'd had either December, January, that time between 2017 and 2018. And he's like, you should really check out what they're doing over here. And I was very interested because I've got a software engineering background in code, and I'm really, I'm passionate about that stuff too. But I came by and was really welcomed and embraced by the community there. And it was still very, very in its infancy, so to speak, MileOne. And they had that initial sign up, like a 7-day trial or something like that. And I really liked working from there. Just the act of getting out of your house and going to a place and doing something that is not, work related, that is not in your house, it paid off. But of course, you can do that in a library, you can do that at a coffee shop. So what made MileOne unique to me and stood out and added value was, number one, being around a downtown that is on the rise, right? I think there's a certain energy. It's hard to quantify, but it's there. But to me, it was all about the community. It was all about seeing other people making it happen in their industries and being able to bounce ideas off each other. You don't get that anywhere else. And so even though it was somewhat of a sell, because I was very, very cautious about my bottom line, it definitely pays for itself in the long run. And I'm very glad that I've joined up and I've remained a member the whole time through COVID. Now, the only thing that's changed really is I haven't been as much of a fixture there as I used to be. And that's really just, I guess, self-preservation instinct. I'm trying to lead by example, socially distance, but there's still quite a bit of a value add in being on the mixers, the Zoom mixers, and having that network of professionals available to me. And hopefully I add value to them. Cesar mentioned one of the earliest interactions he and I had when he came into the family was that I had an opportunity to give a presentation on trademark, which some people may have more familiarity with than others. And one of the things that I learned early on was there are a lot of small business people or people who have established businesses that they don't have the base information that I think every small business owner should have about the purpose of trademark law and the intersection between trademark and making money, right? And protecting a brand that has grown very strong. So I was like, you know what? The community's given me so much. Let me give back. Let me do this presentation that is tailored toward people who I think need to hear this information. And I think it was a pretty successful event. And then earlier this year, right before I went to a very long trial in Houston, I did one on trade secret. This was a trade secret trial I was doing in Houston. So I was like, let me do a trade secret presentation, which is another area of law that I think people know even less about and understand even less. And paradoxically, I think is probably more, the rubber meets the road a lot more. There are a lot more practical application spaces for trade secret law, depending on how lucky or unlucky you are. If you have an employee who learns all of your secrets and then goes off and gives them to a competitor, you're going to have problems. And that's a lot more of a foreseeable situation, I think, than growing a brand that you feel you need to get registration protection for. So that was another seminar that I did. Must have been, I think, February of this year. And I really am hoping I can do a few more. I practice primarily intellectual property law, which is 4 types of law. It's an umbrella that covers 4 distinct areas of law. One that you may be very familiar with is copyright law, which has to do with works of authorship, books, songs, choreographed routines, movies. You see a lot of that's copyright law. The other 3 areas of law are the 2 I just mentioned, trade secret and trademark. And then the final one is patent law, which is the law that covers protectable inventions, which is very, very cool if you have a background like me in science and engineering, because it's a combination of those legal principles, but also physics, chemistry, biology, computer science, computer engineering, and getting to work with inventors is really, really rewarding. And so I've been fortunate enough to have practiced all 4 of those areas of law. And then I also have, basic commercial civil litigation practice that I do. But I think what I was hoping to add the most value to the community really came from my intellectual property law background. So that, I think, covers everything I wanted to discuss vis-a-vis my relationship with MileOne. However, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know how much else is to be discussed in this
you can just tell us a little bit about how we can get in touch with you. Sergio?
Yes. How to get in touch with me? How to get in touch?
Contact information, yes.
Contact information. So I can do two things. Number one, I will verbally recite my contact information. I also can provide it in the chat feature. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the chat feature. When I do Zoom, yeah, okay. Great. So I'll put it there. I am happy to circulate it also via MileOne. There's a MileOne Slack channel. Cesar can get it to you. I'm happy to email all of you. So without further ado, again, my name is Sergio R. Davila. I'm the principal, founder, managing member, all of the important things, the only person really of the law office of Sergio R. Davila, PLLC. I can be reached via email at sdavila@sdavila-law.com. That's basically my first initial, last name, @ same thing, -law.com. And again, I will put it in the chat, so you don't have to worry about that. I can also be reached via phone or text. You can text the same number, area code 956-731-0173. That will be provided in the chat as soon as I stop talking, which I'm sure everyone is waiting for. Yeah, you're always more than welcome to reach out to me, and hopefully I can provide helpful direction, or if you just want to talk about anything, that's fine too. But yeah, that's hopefully I've touched upon everything you want to talk about. I know you may have another agenda, so I don't want to take up too much of LADC's time, other than to say thank you very much for this opportunity. It's wonderful to have you guys as an audience. And like I said, if you want to have any more discussions offline, I'll be available and excited to correspond with you offline.